January. The future in your line of sight and important plans beginning to take shape. Caution at the beginning of the month, when certain prospects won't really seem very enchanting, as they could cause trouble in your business affairs. However, be ready to live slightly on the edge, at least until March, when the final square aspect between Uranus and Pluto will certainly shake you up and force you to adapt. It will be a make or break situation. Be careful to avoid power struggles, which would set you on edge, and beware of an adversary behind the scenes, who will be lying in wait. You will end this rather aggravating month feeling undermined by potential restlessness around the 30th, continuing an already present frustration in both your personal and working life. Great advice for this month. A first month of the year to get through, avoiding drawing attention to yourself, or it will be at your own risk and peril. A month to forget as soon as it's over. February. Until 18th February, the Sun will be lurking in the shadow of your sign, inviting you to withdraw from the scene, which will currently be quite risky, so that you can evaluate the situation with awareness and then avoid being taken by surprise the next month by events that you have suspected but not been sufficiently prepared for. However, the month will start on a high note, with a nice encounter, an inspiring romance and your love life helping you to get the pressure around you, on the first, into perspective. You will be tempted to escape and go for gentle love affairs, ones that you can lead away from prying eyes. Try not to feel overwhelmed, on the 6th, by your emotions or a mess, at work, which would only cause you disruption. Beware too, those born in the first decan, of those above you, on the 23rd, who could test out your abilities and endurance to see what you are made of. You could feel somewhat trapped and try to put up resistance. Better to find a way of dealing with it, and why not end the month borne along by a dream, with your head in the clouds and your heart ready to open and go along with things. Advice for this month. Try not to take the demands and criticisms from your boss at face value. Better to put potential and real problems into perspective through the eyes of love. This strategy will enable you to get through the month without feeling depressed and end it on a high note. March. A month of dangers to end all dangers, but above all, a month where anything could be possible. You could be offered opportunities around the 3rd to change to your advantage, but careful between the 11th and 17th, when the heavens will be up to their old tricks. You will have to face the return of the square aspect between Pluto and Uranus for a final time, last but not least, which has been causing upheaval in society since 2012. It will time to make choices and opt for solutions which won't necessarily make you feel secure, but they will enable you to move forward. Sometimes without a safety net. The end of the month will seem to want to calm things down and connect you with a dream or lifetime ideal. A month, then, when good things could come out of the chaos and sometimes drastic transformations, which will shake your foundations, putting you definitively in tune with what you will have to live through in fundamental terms. Advice for this month. A month which will turn out to be decisive, especially for those born in the 2nd decan, and will ask you to break free of the past in order to open up the future. Some will have to jump without a safety net, but they will have the guarantee that Jupiter, from summer onwards, will soon reassure them in their choices. April. Busy with or preoccupied by your finances? In any case, you will intend to defend your interests tooth and nail, even if that means speaking your mind to get satisfaction. Take care however to avoid pushing things too far between the 5th and 8th, when you would be in danger of being up against a brick wall. Be careful what you say, too, and try to tone it down, if you don't want to appear aggressive with those around you, who could make you pay, on the 18th. Wait until the 21st to get your message across with determination, rather than by force, and hope for happy outcomes. It will be an end to the month that looks good, especially on the family front, where you will go down well in all quarters, and in your love life, where you should get the reassurance you want and deserve. Advice for this month. You will be all ready to claim your due, but you won't necessarily have the manner or technique for presenting your demands. Tone it down a notch and sweeten your tone, if you want to assert your rights and win the jackpot. If you do, you will get what you want, but not straight away. May. Communication will be the name of the day until the 21st, but it's a fair bet that your suggestions will break the sound barrier. You will basically want to say and do what you like, but you could create mayhem in your everyday life, which will already be difficult to handle, on the 4th. Be careful then that your adoption of a definite stance doesn't end up making you irascible towards your family. You will try to control everything and could above all risk creating conflicts, which will end up with you against the entire planet, and this would exhaust you. The second half of the month will only serve to add poison here. You will feel swindled, criticized at work and disappointed by those close to you, ending this normally pleasant month completely disillusioned. Advice for this month. The sun will invite you to open up discussion, but your rather paranoid attitude will leave you isolated and erect barriers of communication between you and others. You should avoid playing the victim, however, and try to diffuse the atmosphere by stopping treating yourself as the center of the world in particular. Your call. June. At last a cloudless sky. You're going to take advantage of June to behave in the right way on all fronts. On the family front, you will move house to improve your living environment, or you will enjoy making an effort to improve your everyday life and reinstate harmony. Your courteous ways and desire to smooth things over will work wonders, between the 5th and the 10th, on the 22nd and the 29th, at work, and this will help you calm potential conflicts. You will find thousands of ways of boosting your popularity in your love life and business affairs, and this will basically be successful. Advice for this month. Anything will seem possible and allowable in June. This will be the month for doing what you want and laying down the foundations of an everyday life which will be promising and put you back in tune with yourself and your other half. July. You will continue on your excellent trajectory at the very start of the month, when the atmosphere will be at its height and you will be on cloud 9. The climate will be a lot less good from the 6th, when your love life, or your children, will cause you problems. Differences of opinion with your partner will set you against each other and muddy the waters. You will feel betrayed and very frustrated around the 14th, when your exchanges with each other will seem difficult on all fronts, especially at work on a day when you will probably feel up against a brick wall. The end of the month looks just as gloomy and will disrupt your love life. You will try to put your affairs and exchanges with others back in order on the 21st, but it will be difficult to stop discussions going into a tailspin on the 25th. Advice for this month. A month that will get off to a good start, but quickly turn stormy. Scores to be settled and boils to be lanced? Probably, but this won't be a reason for behaving aggressively to everyone. To avoid potential slip-ups, yours or others, it would be better to contain your emotions, or at least a little, and wait for the storm to abate before you relaunch discussion. This will avoid tempers flying and will be difficult, but not impossible. August. You will have your work cut out and seem preoccupied by the work remaining to be done. Whether you are going on holiday or not this month, you will find it hard to unwind and completely forget your responsibilities. Those born in the 3rd decan in particular will find themselves facing a reality which will frustrate their ambitions, force them to reduce their activities and be content with what they have. For the moment, make the best of things and don't complain. The second half of the month will seem easy to handle for everyone. You will also seem a little under par or at a low psychological ebb around the 21st, but you will end the month on a high note. This will apply especially those born in the 1st decan, as they will have an opportunity to sign off a business matter or contract, or find that special person and even make a commitment on paper on the 26th. Advice for this month. Take things steadily and avoid creating sparks before the 11th. Then go on holiday, and why not make it your honeymoon? September. A month it will be wise to devote to discussion, at least until the 23rd. At the very beginning of the month, you will probably have some difficulty in getting through to your other half and others, but you will double your efforts to plead your case and get your message across. It should get through before the 9th. Be careful, however, around the 17th, when anything will probably be possible, but you won't be immune from making errors of judgment and creating other kinds of misunderstanding either. Make sure then that your exchanges with him, her are clear, if you want to end up on good, solid terms. Be equally careful at the end of the month not to be aggressive towards those you have to deal with, as they won't just go along with things, especially your boss. Unless you're the one on the receiving end. In which case, don't dig in your heels, and whatever else, don't add fuel to the fire. Advice for this month. A busy end to the holidays, which could bring you a lot, if you play safe, while taking a much-needed step back to prepare for potential blows from those above you. They will be piling on the pressure, especially for those born in the first decan. October. A month that will clearly favor your ambitions and make it easy to get out of crisis situations. However, stay on your guard until the 11th, when you will probably need to defend your position and interests, and this will give you something to think about if you are to win the day. You should however end up winning through, probably on the 11th, thanks to a prestigious partnership or an advantageous contract, which will open up prospects. Unless it's in your love life, those born in the second decan, that you decide to move on a stage and make a more upfront commitment. The rest of the month looks favorable to your progression and your happiness on all fronts, especially on the 17th, when you will score points and win the day, and also on the 25th, when some will even tie the knot. Advice for this month. A month to be handled by keeping on your toes until the 10th, but it also promises better things to follow. It will be up to you to contain your rather disruptive emotions as a first step and then express them freely as a second step, enabling you to end the month completely happy in your love life and for some, married or about to be. November. This month will get off to a flying start and favor your takeoff. Whether in your love life, social life or at work, nothing will seem able to stop you, especially on the 3rd and 11th, when you will be free of problems. However, you will be brought back down to earth from the 21st, when you will be faced with challenges at work, mainly those born in the second decan, where you won't be allowed any leeway and the pressure will mount. You will then be tempted to throw in the towel between the 26th and the 30th, when you won't be able to see a way out of the crisis you will be going through and seem effectively up against a brick wall. Advice for this month. Those born in the first decan will have had to face pressure from Saturn, who has been overloading them with responsibilities since December 2014 and squeezing them dry. Try to get your trials and tribulations into perspective this month, if you want to end the month feeling aware and quite emotionally detached, rather than depressed, tired and disillusioned. December. You will feel very exposed on the work front up until the 22nd. While it was those born in the first decan who copped it last month, it will be those born in the second and third decans that will get it in the neck. Around the 6th, 9th, 11th, 19th and 21st, those born in the second decan will defend their position and their own skin at great cost, but basically with success. Those born in the third decan will have to deal on the 4th and the 14th with those above them, who will be difficult to convince and would prefer them to tone it down a notch. You can feel reassured that the end of the month looks more clement, but also rather hot, and it should enable you to savor a well-earned festive period in good company. Happy New Year. Advice for this month. Accept challenges and avoid provocation, if you want to end the year on a high note and especially on good form. This will be a year that has put you under pressure, but it will have certainly brought you a lot